Okay guys, this is my round 2 battle of Dngrs36m's tournament. This is against YukiroKun, and this is just what it's going to be. I leave all of his A's off, and I'm going to reflect, because I know I can take a crunch or whatever he's going to shoot at me. And I take a lot of fucking damage from that crunch, so the reflection is going to help that out a little bit. I was glad I didn't get a defense drop, because that could have been bad. So I set up my rocks, and I'm just going to switch up to Hitmontop before he gets 2 layers of toxic spikes on. But he whirlwinds me, and I was like, fuck. So my Manti said, fuck you, and as I switched back out to my Hitmontop. Now I figured, I don't know how bulky those things are, because I really don't see them often these days. So I fake out, and I did a decent bit of damage, and I was tempted to close combat, but fearing the crunch, I switched out. So I went over to my Houndoom, because I can take anything, and he's just going to continue phasing the shit out of my team. And I go over to Swallow, and this is going to activate my Flame Orb, which saves me the trouble of having to do it later on. So I U-turn, and this is going to help out. And I go back over to Weezing to take the crunch, because I know he's going to try to hit me because he thinks he can take the Fast Aid. Now, I knew he would do something predicting the Fire Blast or the Will-O-Wisp, so I went ahead and used Thunderbolt on the incoming Azumarill, and that was a pretty good prediction on my part, even though the Azumarill took that like a fucking maniac. Weezing's special attack must suck dick to take something like that. So I'm going to Thunderbolt again, and I was surprised that he stayed in, and just went ahead and hit me with the Waterfall, which isn't going to do jack shit to Weezing. So I was considering to switch my attacks and go with Hidden Power Ice or Fire Blast, but in case he stayed in, I didn't want him to take the hit. But it didn't really matter as he went over, because he went over to Regirock. And I did a lot of damage to Regirock, but because, well, compared to what you would assume you would do to Regirock. So I switch over and I go over here to Hitmontop because I can take Stone Edge. So, but he misses anyway, so it didn't really matter to me too much. So I'm going to go ahead and close combat, trying to get a decent bit of damage in, but Regirock's defense is retarded, so it lived it really well. And he Earthquakes right here to take me out. Now, essentially, this is 5 to 4, because one of his dudes really can't come into rocks, and Regirock really isn't going to do anything for him. So I T-Bolt as he goes over to that thing, and I don't get any Parahacks on it, which is alright with me. It doesn't really matter to me too much. And I'm going to try to reflect, but he had Taunt, which I didn't expect since he didn't use it last time. So that just means I can't get a Reflect up, which isn't okay with me because, you know, he can't kill Crunch regardless. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to Thunderbolt, and that's going to finish off the Drapion, putting me at 5 to 3, essentially. Now, Mesprit is a beast. I love Mesprit. And he switches over to a Leaf Gecko, I'm assuming a Choice Spec Sceptile, and I was completely amazed I lived with any HP off that Energy Ball. And Ice Beam, because I have like very little special attack investment, didn't really KO the Sceptile. But I didn't feel like switching out because I figured Death Fodder, and I want to get a free switch over to my, Swallow. I'm going to Fast Seed right here. I get a pretty useless crit against this Flygon, because Flame Orb boosted, low defense, and that's just going to kill it. Besides that quick attack, so it didn't really matter. And he switches over to Azumarill, who dies with the rocks, and he's going to switch again over to a Primeape. Now I feared the Mach Punch, and I didn't think he would die to a quick attack, so I switched out and went over to Weezing as he switched back over to a Regirock. And Regirock, thanks to Stealth Rock, is just low enough that I can kill it with the T-Bolt, which is really nice. And I'm going to outspeed it anyway because, you know, Regirock's slow as fuck. And this puts me at about 4 to 2. And he goes over to a Sceptile, and I switch over to fuck you, my Manti, to take the Energy Ball. And this is why I know it's Specs, because there's no way in hell you can do that much damage to a Manti unless you're Specs with the Sceptile. So Manti's going to get 2-hit KO'd, but it doesn't really matter, man. I'm just going to get a free switch over to my Swallow. Fast Aid's obviously going to 1-hit KO, and I'm faster, so he switches over to Primeape, and I'm just going to go over to Weezing to take it really well. And close combat isn't going to do anything to Weezing thanks to resistance and the fact that he's really high defense. And I'm pretty sure he's Scarf, so he's stuck on close combat, and my Weezing's just going to continue taking the hits like a beast. And the Thunderbolt doesn't want to hit KO, which is kind of crazy to me. And I get some really gay Parahacks. But anyway, Yukiro, it's a good game, dude. We'll have to battle again sometime. Hope you guys enjoyed the battle. Rate, comment, subscribe. Peace.